Hello and welcome back to Respect the Crick. I'm your host and your game master once again. My pronouns are he, she, they, all pronouns are good. And I am joined by some really great people and some incredible friends. Please welcome back to the table as a player, Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie Bonés, she, her, and today I'm back to playing Elo, the modified medical droid / mercenary soldier. And I missed Star Wars a lot.
Yeah, as did we all. Jamie, earlier we were talking about dreams, and I was just wondering if you knew what kind of dreams Elo has, or do they even have dreams at all? Do droids dream of electric nerfs?
Of electric nerves.
Electric nerves.
If droids dream, it would be in binary.
Very cool. Lots of ones and zeros, and maybe even a 2 or a 3. What's that?
If things get kooky.
And speaking of kooky, please welcome back Alex Herrera.
Hello, I'm Alex, he, him. I'm playing Beegax, Botano, Doug, Slicer / Force Sensitive. I can't remember. Let me see my sheet. It says Force
Sensitive indeed.
Yes, Force Sensitive, yeah.
Don't touch him there. He's Force Sensitive.
I'm very Force Sensitive. Don't touch me there.
What would Beegax dream about? Actually, I asked this question. I already know the answer, but go ahead and say it.
Couple different things. It depends on.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning, Beegax dreamt of an island somewhere, like an island and a beach and Mai Tais and all those nice drinks with umbrellas. Now, as a I don't know what you call him, a wannabe apprentice, wannabe Padawan. I think now he just dreams of ramen and RC Cola.
Yep, there it is.
Not sponsored, but they should. RC Cola, come on, man. They still exist. I'm all about them.
Star Ramen and RC Cola, drinking in a pod racer, just going as fast as it can. Just
it's a YouTube. That's a YouTube channel. Someone make that. It's Synthwave. Star Wars Synthwave as you drink RC Cola and eat star noodles in your pod racer bed.
And she is no synth, but a real flesh and blood person. Please welcome Susan Spenader.
Hi, I'm Susan. I go by she, her, but he, him, they, them. They also apply. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Call me whatever you want.
You cannot misgender Susan. It's impossible.
I apply to all. Anywho, I will be playing Xelora Veo, and now someone in the Discord has identified that, yes, Veo is Mission Veo from Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm very happy about that.
I was wondering when we were going to get to that. But I think there's more to be said about it, but I like that someone made those connections.
We put in some little nuggets to this world and little tendrils leading back.
Some little sprinkles. Now, does Xelora Veo dream of Mission Veo?
Maybe by significance towards the family. Not necessarily mission, but her idea of mission. Mm-hmm. But Xelora's dreams are probably tied towards... And I threw out my knowledge of dream meanings before, so I'm going to leave this very vague as I describe this. Xelora's dreams are probably of a library, pulling out books and reading people's stories. And then some big monster that she has to defeat. And for all of us people interpreting dreams... look it up. I looked it up.
Now you do, and now you have to.
She doesn't dream of Mission Viejo, California? The city?
Or pod racing?
Where Mission Veo came from?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But the name for the character is inspired from that city.
Wow.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's cool.
Because she's a city kid. Okay.
It's been a while, but I am glad that we are back, and we're just gonna turn the throttle on this all the way, because there is no better way to get back into Star Wars than by just hitting that fucking hyperspace jump and just blasting off. So let's do it. What do you say?
Let's go. Gun it. Push it.
Ready.
Punch it.
Punch it. Gun it, punch it, slap it, bop it. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 64, The Worthless. Escaping from the pursuit of the mysterious scrappers, Beegax and Xelora are led by their recently missing crewmate R4TT into a camp of droids who call themselves The Worthless. With injured beings in tow, the crew of the Way try to heal their wounds, assess their casualties, and find a way to make it out of the dangerous and wild Scraplands.
First things first, let's go ahead and do the destiny roll. Who is going to roll for me first? Alex, you made a noise.
I already rolled one.
All right.
This is mine.
What'd you get?
1 dark side.
Jamie, you're making a face. What is that?
Oh, no.
I don't know. I also got 1 dark side.
Oh, no.
2 dark side.
Oh, Susan has a face now. Susan has a face.
The system is mad at us for leaving.
Susan?
You always said I had to tell. I got 2 light side.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Restoring the balance. Restoring the balance.
I only made that face because I was like, Ian said that he knows what I roll, so.
Well, now I'm going to know that you're double bluffing. You're a double agent, and I'll just know that it's
So,
fake.
like, you don't even know now. Like,
you're
it's
trying to
double
get in
bluffing?
my head, Susan, and it's working, and I don't appreciate it. Just for that, I'm going to need you to roll an obligation roll, please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
1d100, and you are looking for 41 or higher is what you're looking for.
12.
Oh, fuck.
12, you
damn.
say. 12, you say.
Here we go. Xelora episode
yep.
incoming.
That's all this has been.
Well, that makes sense then.
It's all been leading up to this.
Yeah.
Everyone's strain threshold goes down by 1 because of the triggered obligation. The person whose obligation was triggered, which is Xelora, goes down by 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. I'm closer to the maximum. That's all that means.
Yeah. There we go.
There's your
agree with
silver
you.
lining. There's your silver lining.
Not the fact that I have 2. That's not. Don't worry about that.
Let's do the morality roll. So you had 2 points. Yeah, you want to roll a d10, and you are trying to get a 3 or above.
That is a 10, my friend.
All right.
Whoa.
So you can add 8 points to your morality.
Oh,
wow.
8? Wow, I jump back up. That's 57.
That's great.
Yay.
You're really feeling the light side right now.
Yeah.
We open on what looks like stars in the night sky. Pulling back, we see that this is just the light shining through holes that are eroded and rusted in this large scrap of metallic waste that's twisting up into the actual sky, where the moon of Ord Mantell beams down and the actual stars of the galaxy burn indifferently. We cut to a small makeshift settlement heaped amongst the piles of waste. Junk and detritus pushed up to form makeshift walls that do little to keep out the sounds of passing flutter plumes and the moans of distant savrips. A unit of droids, including a bedraggled protocol droid, and an R4 unit that looks like it stepped out of the Mad Max franchise, leads a small group into the settlement. And being as we're talking about droids, I think it makes the most sense that we sort of like camera adjust onto LO first. And what does LO look like? Since it's been a while, maybe give us a quick description of LO's current demeanor, maybe what they're thinking, what they're feeling as they're walking into this settlement.
Elo is beaten down, but also you see that they are sort of an amalgamation of parts to begin with. So it's hard to tell if it's like, is that what they looked like before, or is that from this recent encounter? Like, what is that dent from? Is that recent, or there's some age to some of their parts? They have these beaming light eyes, one of which seems to have some sort of cybernetic enhancements, and they have a sound wave for their communication outwards whenever they're vocalizing their thoughts. They also have a bandolier of grenades strapped across their chest and a mask hanging off of their back as well. And as they're walking into this encampment, almost hunched over because they've taken so much damage. Despite this, Elo is probably attending to Beegax or Xelora as they are walking into camp, limping. I assume that's what I picture in my head, is that somebody is limping and Elo is assisting either one of the settlers or one of the party. It doesn't matter who, but they're not going to stop from their prime directive of being a medical droid.
Sure, nice. Yes. We see Xelora is limping beside Elo. And Susan, why don't you give us a description of Xelora and maybe what they're thinking, doing at this moment?
Xelora is limping into camp, having 3 out of 10 of her strain. She is a light blue Twi'lek. Her Leku, as she's limping, like she's leaning forward with someone on her back and just trying to keep up with everyone else. Her Leku are draped over her shoulders in front of her. She has this tiger striping on her Leku, and she is wearing some what would in D&D be leather armor, but just the tight, I don't want to say tight fitting because that's not what I'm going for. It's more so like she has ease of movement, like
it's contoured to her body.
Yeah, like it's custom made in the sense that she could move freely, and on her back she is holding her comrade Beegax, and she is limping in because she has taken a few hits. There's no like blood or anything. It's just she is a little hurt, or a lot hurt.
I would say a lot hurt. You've got at least one critical injury.
Yeah.
And then I guess riding atop her shoulders, Alex, please describe for us what Beegax looks like, what his thoughts are, what he's doing in this moment coming into this camp.
Beegax is a dark-skinned Doug with the ashy patches of gray on his chin from where he rubs his chin when he's overthinking or stressed out. Dougs have the weird physiology of the feet for hands for feet. But in this case, he's using all 4 of his limbs to hold on to Xelora as she comes limping in. Beegax, I think, if I remember correctly, he's wearing his racing gear from the the getup that he was wearing from the race still. We didn't really have a chance to change, I don't believe. But he still has his catch. He still had the vest.
We had one day. I think it was the next morning.
Oh yeah, he would still be wearing the race. I mean, it was like a dream of his to become a pod racer. So
I'm never taking this up.
Never. He's got the vest on. That's like his armor essentially, and he is physically drained, not only from being absolutely pounded into oblivion by the robots and all the blasts that he's taken, but also because he used the Force earlier, like right before this. To throw a speeder at some bad guys. But yeah, he's exhausted. He's Grogu before Grogu actually learned how to use the Force exhausted, not many thoughts in his head, just exhaustion. I want to sleep. He, obviously Xelora is carrying him in, so as he sees Xelora carrying him in on her own back and she's limping, and he sees Elo healing people, he realizes, oh yeah, I had to destroy those things because, I need to keep my friends, my crew alive, and keep these other civilians that are with us alive because we brought them into this danger. I guess it's the virtue of defense, defense of the innocents, I guess, is what he would be leaning towards.
Defend those who cannot defend themselves.
Yes.
So yeah, Beegax must think that the crew of the Way cannot defend themselves.
Jeez, Alan.
I'm not of the crew yet, so whatever.
Speaking of Xelora, you get a little boop, boop, like something goes off on whatever communication device you have, Apple Watch or PDA or whatever.
Kim Possible Watch. Boop, 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 boop.
It could be a reminder that you've set yourself, or just like a schedule thing that you are way behind on contacting Zerka about getting them their money.
Oh shit.
Am I in range of the cell towers?
Do I have reception?
Yeah, holding up the bars. Well, you don't have any means right now of like long distance communication, but you could call someone. I mean, who you want to call?
Can I just transfer creds? Like,
no, those kind of transactions would require a stable internet connection.
Yeah. And at least one dongle, and I don't have any dongle.
I mean, not at this moment as we're stumbling in. It'd be more like a...
And I think, isn't the other thing, you don't actually have the money right now.
Yeah, we didn't get paid yet.
You went to get paid, but the payment did not get to you.
I'm looking at it. I have 3,500 credits right now.
You have credits. All I'm saying is it's not enough for the payment for Zerka.
Ugh.
Student loans are killing you, man.
Yeah.
Zerka's payment is substantially more than that.
Yeah, Salome doesn't accept money orders either, so.
So Xelora looks at her comm, and as Beegax will see this, she looks at it because she has to let go of one of his arms to look at it, and then puts it back down because she just can't right now.
Oh, you need to take that.
I can't even take it right now.
Oh yeah, good point.
Zerka's just looking for their money. That Bonnie took.
That sucks. Almost as much as getting shot sucks.
Yeah. As she's limping, like one is emphasized by a limp.
Elo, you said you were administrating some first aid, at least while this is going on. Do you want to try and make a medical roll on any one of your compatriots
I would.
here to try and heal their wound?
Yes, if Xelora is leaning sort of on me while carrying Beegax, I will sort of tend to Xelora.
Thank you.
That'll be an average medical roll.
Okay, just everything except one success.
Okay, so yeah, you have healed Xelora's critical injury. What does that look like? What is that?
It's probably the limp, so since we established that.
So that it's a little easier to carry Beegax around this makeshift camp. I do think that would probably be a good idea. As Elo is sort of attending to Xelora and making it easier for her to walk, Elo, as they're wrapping the bandage around or adjusting a splint, is just going to say, you did well out there. I'm impressed.
I know that I caused this to you both, and I am very sorry. This wouldn't have happened if you didn't get involved with me.
I don't think you need to worry about that with this bunch. We all have a tendency of roping each other into unforeseen or unseemly circumstance.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I shot into a crowd one time.
One time?
I mean, I only remember the ones. There have been others. I didn't know. You know what? I threw a bike into a crowd once too, I think.
Elo has also thrown grenades into groups of people. I am thinking this is maybe a
Wait,
thing
what?
about us.
Yeah. Not our finest moments, but still greatest hits is still greatest hits. Am I right?
You're not wrong.
They weren't our worst moments either.
No. And then not to get sidetracked, but I wouldn't blame you. This isn't something that you had any control over. You know, we got free will of our own. If we didn't want to come along and help you, we would have said no in the garage. But as much as it, really bothers me saying these things, it's just like something. I think something pulled us together, whether we wanted to or not. So, really, you didn't have much of a choice.
I mean, you could have been a little bit more cautious about Banastasi. He really got one over on us.
Beegax is gonna pause for a second. He's still on Xelora's back, so he's gonna turn to face Gur. For being a spy, you really don't see a lot of the traps that are coming for us, do you? Didn't they teach you that in spy school? Spy class 101 or something about looking for traps?
Who says I didn't see it?
Well, if you did, you should have told us. I mean,
we are right where I want us to be.
he looks around. You're right where you want to be. Wow. He's bewildered by that comment.
And also, I tried to talk us out of it, but then you two were like, guns a-blazing.
Well, Xelora, I think we kind of told you preemptively. I'm pretty sure Elo and I mentioned this, and if we didn't, I'll consider this the warning here, the preamble or the notes, right? The little asterisks. Our methods involve a lot of damage. To which side? Hey, that's up to them,
The other side.
Yes.
I guess just metaphorically, I will have to invest more into leadership and persuasion.
You can try. Elo and I did download some holo vids and holo tapes on leadership seminars for Elo and I. I mean,
self-help.
We didn't get a whole lot out of them. Yeah, we didn't get a lot out of them. There's a lot of scam artists out there. There's this guy who says you got to be alpha, and he just kept shouting it over and over again for 20 minutes on this tape.
I hate that guy.
We didn't listen to that one long.
I was trying to avoid this with my family, but I guess I'm just gonna have to take up those politician classes and just invest in this.
So as you're having this conversation, you're limping in the danger behind you. You're fully behind these walls now. As I said before, they're kind of makeshift. This whole encampment is just kind of stuff pushed to the side to make palisades, and there are some sources of light and things like that, but it still feels a little bit cold in that it there's no fires in oil drum cans or anything like that, or laundry hanging up of refugees or settlements or anything like that. It feels cold because the needs of organics are not needed here. And in fact, what you see everywhere are just droids, all kinds of droids. They are, walking around, rolling around, and LO really fits in to this environment because many of these droids look like they are busted, have dents in them, are made up of different parts, some that aren't even parts from their original models. It really looks like these droids, from just walking in here, it looks like they're preparing for something. There's a lot of little groups doing stuff, getting together. There's a lot of running back and forth. People putting together weapons and things like that. You do see some blasters and things like that, but these are a lot of DIY weapons, that kind of stuff. Like, it's very junk punk, if you will. And as you are walking in, this bedraggled protocol droid, who has identified themselves as a defect. Yeah. Just sort of like chirps up. I will take you to our organizer if that is what you wish. I'm sure that he would be very interested to learn of your arrival in the Scraplands.
Organizer? Is that like a boss droid? Or like a person? What is that?
A droid, yes, definitely. Boss, you could say something like that. Leadership, if you will.
Now, Defect, I have a little bit of questions as I get off of Xelora's back and start walking on my own. You guys wouldn't happen to have, like, rejected back to healing stuff, would you? I mean, I know organics aren't a common sight here, so just wondering. As he looks at his, like, his scars, wounds.
Though our medical supplies are very limited for organics, I'm sure that we can provide something. Let me take you to our organizer and I'll see what I can come up with.
Sounds great.
He's just smiling. There's like busted glass in the teeth. It's like awful.
Yeah, I hope the organizer has more answers than Defect.
Oh yes, he's very knowledgeable. Any question you may have, I'm sure he will have the answer to. Right this way.
Cool.
R4 just kind of like rolls past you, just kind of like bumping Beegax a little bit. Just kind of chirps like, hurry up.
Hey, easy there, Tiger. No need to ruin the friendship, the friendship feeling over here, the atmosphere. It'd be a shame if you lost a wheel or something.
Xelora's gonna nudge Beegax, and it's almost like a elbow, and it's just like, droids are friends.
Yeah, except that one.
All droids.
I don't like to generalize. Every droid's got its own personality. It's different.
That droid
is an asshole.
Is our friend.
What you want me to say?
A menace? Yes, you correct. He's a menace.
I'm sure, yeah, Gur knows. Gur's had to sit with him for longer periods of time than I have. They do that thing, Gur, where he pretends like he's going to take you somewhere and then it's like change the trajectory and the navigational data to go somewhere completely different where you will die, but he will live.
But can you do astrogation?
I did before. Not saying it was great, but I did it. I've done it.
And how did that work out?
We're here, aren't we? We're alive. Everyone takes things way too seriously right now. As he like grabs his side.
I can only invest in one skill right now, and it's gonna be talking to people. It will not be astrogation.
We don't have those tapes anyways.
Don't worry, Xelora. It's a love-hate relationship that they share.
Yeah, they love to hate each other.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hello, Fringers, Spacers, Scum and Villainy, and the Rebel Alliance. No big announcements, just glad to be back in our Star Wars story and looking ahead to what is coming up in the future for Respect the Crit. We've got a few new games planned and some other stories in the works. But for now, we're going to focus on our Star Wars adventure for a little while, so I hope that you'll stick around with us for that. Make sure to come check out our Discord because we've got some plans there and it's just an awesome little community that's growing and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Links to that are in the bio of our Instagram and Twitter and other social medias, so check it out. That's it. As always, thank you for listening. And now let's get back to the story. We do a screen wipe, getting you to this leadership. I don't know if I said it before, but this is a group called the Worthless, and yeah, they call themselves the Worthless. They mention They refer to themselves as worthless. And it's basically just a group of droids that have been decommissioned, discarded, or in complete disrepair. Usually from Woolport, but judging from like the mismatch that they are, like, could be from all over. And they are just the like unwanted, unseen, forgotten droid workforce of various kinds. Mostly labor, but there are some things like that, like protocol droids and stuff like that. You see all kinds of droids all over, and they're very unique, all of them, because they all have this sort of amalgamation feel to them. And as you walk through, they all kind of like clock LO, walking with all of these organics, like they're very interested, head up and sensors on and that kind of thing. They don't do much outside of their various tasks and things and preparation that they're doing, but they do seem to like look up and watch LO go by.
You'd think that a droid amongst droids wouldn't garner so much attention.
Yeah, you think they've never seen a droid before or something.
You're the new kid in town.
Also, Barney's just fluttering about, too. I don't want to forget about him.
Oh, yes, Barney, of course, yeah.
Oh,
probably
love Barney.
Searching Xelora's wounds and things, and Beegax's wounds.
Helping out.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barney.
So.
Appreciate it, man. Been a real help. I like droids that don't have wheels, real friendly, floating, healing robot. Very nice droids. No, don't speak in binary. Don't have attitudes.
You're taken to this droid, and big droid. This looks like a loader droid. Yeah, so like a loader lifter droid, a labor droid, basically. Big, sort of like big torso, big, strong looking arms and legs. If you've seen the Obi-Wan series, the droid from that series is a loader droid. So, but it basically just looks like a big, strong, wide chest, big arms, and again, like totally scuffed, and has a sticker that's sort of like flapping off of them, duct tape or something that's written for parts. And when they see you, they introduce themselves.
Greetings, Organics. Welcome to the Worthless. We heard that you were coming in from the Scraplands. My name is Four Parts. You are welcome here in our community and safe for as long as we can provide that.
God, that's great to hear, Four Parts. I'm Beegax. This is Xelora. That's LO. Our representative, Rat. I think you met him already. You guys did a great job fixing him up. It looks a lot more intimidating than when we first met him. That's good.
Oh yes, he made these add-ons himself. He's been very enthusiastic about helping us and our struggle.
It's nice to see his creative side flourish. Just a quick aside, and he'll move his hand to expose the wounds that are like just barely closed. Some of us organics are a little worse for wear. We're wondering if you had any extra medical supplies. I know it's not common for you to probably even have any since there's no organics here. Just curious.
I mentioned that I would help look for what few supplies that we had to help organics. If you need me, I shall be looking for some. Please allow me to fill you in. And he goes up to Four Parts and sticks his finger in a port.
Ooh, whoa!
And
buy me dinner first. Whoa!
I assure you, it is 100% consensual.
I bet this place sounds better and better.
Some would even say erotic.
One finger. I believe I require more information. R4, please stick your finger in me as well.
Yeah, Defect goes to look for some stuff for you, and Four Parts says,
we can provide whatever we have. I'm afraid that it's not a lot, but
Cool, that's good to hear. I got a question, Four Parts, not to kind of rush into things here, but I can't help but notice a lot of your boys and girls and your thems out there are Ilden stuff. And stuff that I recognize as, weapons. Got a big party planned, or what? What's the deal with that?
Unfortunately, yes. We, Worthless, are in conflict with the Scrappers. And right now, a great bounty has fallen into the Scraplands. Thankfully, in our area that we control, the train that has just fallen off the rails is full of technology, spare parts, things that we could use to survive. However, it is also the things that the Scrappers need to survive. And as I'm sure you know, they are already testing our boundaries to see if they can claim that hall. We are essentially preparing for war.
Wow. War over garbage. I mean, the same can be said about other wars, for certain. Do you typically have a lot of conflicts with them over stuff like this?
Always. The Scrappers view us as their enemy. They are the remnants of the indigenous life form of Ord Mantell. They were pushed out, and they see us as tools of Woolport, tools that serve and protect Woolport and Ord Mantell. And we were, many of us. We're trying to unlearn that here as the Worthless, especially as we are just as discarded by the people that we were supposed to be working with.
Do you guys typically win these conflicts?
They have the numbers, but we have the resilience. There's a lot of advantages that droids have over organic beings. However, they do tend to outnumber us.
Hearing your story, should you be working against each other? Or should you both be working together against those who oppress?
It's a difficult situation. We are making our own way here as Worthless in the Scraplands. And we recognize that the Scrappers have their own struggle, and that they view us as part of that struggle. But we still need to survive, unfortunately. It's what we have to do if we want to be out here and be ourselves.
And I apologize. It's just a third-party perspective. It seems that your struggles seem to be very similar.
He like looks at you and like takes a step forward close to Xelora, and he's like,
You're not wrong. Even the people in Woolport, I would say that their struggle is the same as ours here in the Scraplands. They just don't know it because they haven't experienced the hardships that we are experiencing out here. But if they were to step in the way of those in power or stand against it, they would be just as discarded, just as worthless. I think all of our struggle is similar, connected. But like I said, we are few right now, and we just need to survive. The Scrappers pose a threat to that, and they think that we pose a threat to them as well.
And Xelora's going to take a half step forward, because I know that 4-part step forward. It's just she doesn't want to invade space, but also like just touch the personal space, like get into that zone where we're right in front of each other. And she's gonna reach out hesitantly and then touch his arm. And I apologize that I speak from a place of ignorance. I just wish for you all to be in harmony.
He nods and just sort of like leans back up, postures back up.
If I can ask, what are you doing here in the Scraplands?
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, Mr. Four Parts, sir, ruler, your rulerness. We were on our way to collect some winnings for a race that Xelora won here. She's a world-class interstellar pod racer champion. I'm second place, so I'm pretty good too. Maybe you catch the races down here. Anyways, we were on a train headed to collect winnings, and when we were cornered by
The train.
Excuse me?
The train that recently crashed.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and some bozo stopped us. I don't know if bozo is part of your interstellar vocabulary. It means
It is now.
yeah, but a bad guy, no good, low down, silly looking, thinking bad guy.
Rascallion.
Rascallion.
Slum guzzler.
Yeah, slum guzzler, real piece of criff. You know what I mean? And yeah, he tried to threaten us and hurt us, and he kind of did. But we hurt a lot of his guys too. I think he made it out. I can't really. Yeah, he cut off the other part of the train and took off, if I remember correctly. And then, yeah, we got here, and Rat and your boys saved us.
I'm sorry that you've come at a time where there is more potential violence possibly in store for all of us.
I wouldn't worry. And he opens up his vest, and he has his gun, his disintegrator pistol. This group, us, you're in luck. We're a little bit prone to violence ourselves, so I can offer
We
you
were
something.
just talking about this.
Yeah. And he'll look at Xelora. If you guys look at Xelora when he says this, kind of with like a sarcastic like view on his face, like troll smile. You heal us up, Four Loader, and 4 parts. Sorry, 4 parts. You heal us up, and I'm more than willing to lend you a gun or two for this upcoming resource battle.
And then you hear like a shing as Laura takes her blade off her back and does like this flip on her hand. I'm also ready.
Just cut like a passing mouse droid or something. It's like, whoops.
I hope
sorry.
I hope you didn't have a name.
That was too dump.
Oh no!
I'll fix too dumb. I'll fix too dumb.
Too dump the mouse droid.
We would absolutely welcome your assistance. This is literally a question of our survival here in the Scraplands, and we'll take any additional help that we can.
I don't got a problem with it, but I can't speak for everyone here on the crew here. But I speak for myself when I say you'll have my help if you heal us up, get us back in tip-top shape. I'm more than willing to put myself in danger again for people who have saved me. And he says people, he put a little extra emphasis on it. I'm giving you guys that extra respect others might not.
4 parts, I think, turns to LO and says,
You are with these organics, correct? Came on the train as well?
Unfortunately, yes.
You look like you belong here.
I could see how you would have that interpretation based on my outward appearance, but I assure you, I belong with this crew. And if peace is not an option, I suppose violence will need to be the answer. And Ella will take out their disruptor pistol and put the bandages down.
Oh.
time to take off the medic droid. Put on the gunslinger.
Let me get my mask on.
Oh no.
Not yet.
Their relationship that you have with your organics I wish that existed among more of us.
Yes, from what I've seen from Ord Mantell, droids are not what the life of a droid is not what I have personally experienced.
I can't speak to your experiences, but I know that many droids on many worlds, we are utilitarian, and once we are no longer functional or needed, we are sent here, or some other form of decommission. Your friend knows a great deal about this.
And he gestures to R4.
Were you disposed of, R4? Sort of like questioning, because to my recollection, we stole you, but...
Yeah, Beegax is like, wow, well, yeah, I don't... You had a job when we found you.
But you never know, maybe something prior...
Yeah, R4 sort of like rolls forward and starts like beeping. I think 4 parts does the translation.
R4, before you met at Sijali Sa'i on Socorro, R4 was flying Republic ships and fighters and traveling the galaxy, doing what he loved and living his best life. After the Clone Wars, he was decommissioned, filling various roles until he was sold into driving carts on Socorro, which is, from what I understand, where you met. He says that it's still not very... What was that? He says it wasn't very cash money of you to take him hostage.
No, whoa, stop. 4 parts.
Well, I would
But
hope you found liberation at this point.
Yeah, come on, buddy.
R4.
We're letting you map things out. You have unlimited access to the kitchen.
And he says he takes a lot of Bantha Voodoo from Beegax.
Oh my.
But
Here we go.
what you didn't know at the time is you allowed him to fly again, to do the thing that he loves best. And for that, despite everything, he's grateful. He would definitely want to continue traveling with you. But, in his words, he cannot leave the worthless unprotected. We need his help. He says that we need your help.
Well, I guess finally something we can agree on there, R4. Also, you flew Republic ships and you're telling me that we've been taking the most unoptimized routes in these charts? Is that what you're telling me right now?
He beeps and 4 parts is like,
He says he took the routes that he wanted to take.
Yeah, I know he wanted to take those.
The scenic.
Yes,
We went the scenic way.
A lot of scenery. A lot of scenery. Pirates in most of those scenes.
Beegax, in this moment, just know that through our ignorance we've gained knowledge, and that's all we need.
Yeah, it's true.
We have learned more about our companion.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly telling us that before. You just fell into a job that fit your dream.
He says you never asked.
Of course I never asked. I'm too busy picking up pieces of the ship that are falling out. No, I'm not going to get into it. You're right, Xelora. I know I'm not going to get into it. You're right.
And then Zelora's actually gonna crouch down and in front of Rat. I look forward to our flying together.
he beeps up at Xelora and 4 parts says,
He says, you won't be flying my ship, newbie.
And then Zelora's
That's
gonna have a
Rat.
smirk. I guess you didn't see the race then. And then she's gonna stand up.
Yeah, he didn't see and under his breath, he didn't see the race. He's too busy getting kidnapped. What the hell happened to him?
there's some angry beeping. It's like too busy.
He says he was too busy getting left behind.
Kidnapped, left
shit.
behind. I mean,
Oh, shit.
it's up to interpretation, really.
I do have concern over the settlers that were saved amongst us. I don't know that many of them are battle ready.
Oh, the civilians.
Is there Is there some sort of sanctum within the camp we can keep them in for the fighting?
Yes, not every droid, as you can probably see, is adept for combat. In fact, many of us aren't. It's something that we've had to learn and have had to adapt to. There are a few of us, the one two dump that you just injured with your blade contributes in their own way. So we try and keep those people here safe that we can. And of course, this is all volunteer based. If there are amongst you survivors from your crash who cannot be combat ready or choose not to, we will do our best to keep them out of this. My worry is, with fewer numbers, we may be overrun, and then we cannot uphold protection for anyone else. We will be ended, and the worthless will be done.
We will not let that happen.
Four Parts would mention too, like, he understands that organics need time to rest, but time is of the essence, basically. Obviously, the droids here, they don't need to rest, and ideally, they could step out right now and go, after their preparations are done, and sort of leans in on LO about this idea, but understands that organics do need time, especially just surviving this train crash. So he invites you to a place where you can actually rest, where there are they are able to pull out some like medical supplies. It's mostly like first aid stuff, and it's like diluted back dust stuff. But it will do the job a little bit.
Beegax would ask them to provide LO like a medical space. Do you have like, we need like I don't know, whatever the dimensions that they need for like a table, a couple of fucking beds or whatever.
Yeah, they so
the little sick bay.
Yeah.
They do have that equivalent. It is accommodating for humanoid shapes because there are humanoid shape droids. However, the feel of it is way more body shop than it is like medical, like medical space. You know what I mean? Like the sterility of it is questionable, of course, just because there's a scraplands and it's a lot of like metal parts and grease and spark plugs. You know what I mean? But it'll do in a pinch.
And I know we were talking about like taking a rest, but I do have some stim packs. I don't have any Bacta left, but I do have some stim packs that we can use to get you guys back up. And then I guess if mechanics, right, for me.
Yeah, I can help. I can help you because I have some mechanics training.
Yeah, it would be a mechanic roll for do that. But they do have. I mean, there is a bounty of repair patches here. LO, you are in
for droids.
For droids, like
no one messes with LO but me. Okay, I repair LO. Thank you.
It's true. My personal repair man.
Unless you want that guy to come back, Jizzo. What was his name? The guy,
Jizzo.
The guy, what was his name? Jinzel.
I know which.
The triumvirate. No, they're dead,
I thought
baby.
Of them
they're gone.
Earlier.
Jizzle. Holy, what the fuck?
I thought of them earlier too.
What's on your mind, Alex?
That's why I came up with that name, because he was like jizzing all over robots. He was a weirdo.
Yep.
I'm not gonna king him. He's not a weirdo. I'm not gonna king shame him. He just had a weird.
He had a very niche. He had a very niche thing. Yeah.
His HoloNet searches were very specific.
Oh God.
All right.
Consider this a place to rest and to get yourself up to full health without having to use resources that you brought in yourself.
Okay. Sweet.
Damn.
Yeah, and the thing that we should talk about right now, though, is whether that is, are you just like injecting yourself full of like stim packs, or are you like taking a rest?
I feel like we should take a rest as organics.
I think so too.
But I'm worried
Yeah.
that they're going to bail. They're going to be like, we will start the revolution without you. And then they just fucking take off.
I mean, if they do that, that's not on us. Like,
That's true. But then they're going to lose. And then Rat will be like, oh, you didn't have my friends.
Well,
Bye.
Rat is kind of with you this whole time,
Okay.
and you know he's beeping at you like, so we need to come up with a plan. And I know how all of y'all are with plans, but
Wait. Every plan we've had has worked to some degree. All right. You know, the blowing up the tower thing, that worked. Killing, what was his name? The Hut.
The hut
That worked. Okay.
started with Z.
Zalto.
Zalto. Thank you.
wait, were you guys on Sogoro?
Excuse me.
Because I couldn't make it there for my match.
Nope, not us. Could have been
Maybe
somebody else.
I don't.
I don't remember. And
I'm drawing a blank.
something- Explosions.
But back to the plan. If we came up with something that the scrappers just weren't expecting from droids, possibly. I'm not sure even if we know where the scrappers are.
Well, they're
Or if they're just sort of amongst everything.
They're going for the train. That's the whole goal, right? So they want the train, and we want the train because my original plan was going to be blow up the remnants of the train, but you can't.
But we want it.
Yeah, we can't. You know,
That can still be on the table.
Blowing up, I like that idea. I like not necessarily the train, but we could lay traps that we know of.
Well, what I'd like to do, we're going to do something a little bit different, something a little bit new. I've never done this, but we're going to try it. So we're going to actually build this encounter together for the next time that we play.
Ooh.
So
Cool. Like how we built the planet.
yeah, so we're in coming up with the plan for how this is all going down. We're actually going to build the encounter and then play it. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crits, Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you use to listen. It's easy, free, helps others learn about the show, and we love reading your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or come chat with us in our official Discord. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. LO is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram and TikTok @JamieMFBones. Xelora is played by Susan Spenader, who you can find on Instagram @SuzLalouz. I'm Ian Duncan, your host and GM, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @idunks. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work. The Star Wars role-playing system is published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
I'm catching something because my throat was a little itchy this morning.
Yeah.
It's that new Omicron, or no, what is it called now? The new one, fucking Megazord.
Oh,
What the fuck is
God,
the new
I
one
was
called?
just reading about that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Arcturus. Wow,
Arcturus, yeah.
that's gonna be my son's name. That's what I'm gonna call my first son.
COVID Arcturus.
COVID Arcturus Herrera. Welcome to
That's a choice. That's a choice.
It is a
I'm
choice
sure my
that
family
that
would love it.
child will have to live with for the rest of their lives.
He's just gonna go by Co for the rest of his life.
Co 19.
Co.